This is about a week's worth of eggs. We get about a dozen a day. So just about 100 eggs. And this is our daily tomato harvest. So we got some from, that would be yesterday. 9 times out of 10 we just give them to the chickens because they're producing eggs for us. But the rest of the time we're making salsa. Or eating them depending on who's picking them. Between the eggs getting a dozen a day and the tomatoes getting probably 2 pounds a day, it means we're gonna open up the store here. So it was, you can walk out there, I'll show you guys. It was, they called it the she shed. It's just the name of it. It's a little outbuilding shed thing that is on the property and was like a little store that they had when they had the alpaca here. We don't have alpaca, so we're not selling alpaca socks or wool or any of that stuff or the fiber. It's this building. What we're going to be selling are eggs and produce, and maybe some of the worm stuff. We'll see if, and firewood, because we have a lot of trees, and every time we get a bad storm, we lose a couple in the woods. Like nothing in here. We haven't lost anything in a year in the stuff we want. But yeah, so this is our little she shed store thing. You can walk inside. We have our little fridge set up with nothing in it yet because we need to clean the eggs. We need to weigh the eggs, sort the eggs, put them in these little containers, and get them ready for sale. So that'll be something we're working on probably this weekend. I have the inspector dude with the Department of Ag coming out because there are certain rules you need to follow before you can actually sell eggs. So we can't sell anything yet, but we're getting there. So this is what that building looks like. So it's a cute little building. Needs some work. Needs a good paint job. Just like everything on the property, needs to be updated a little bit, but so then people will kind of come in from the driveway and then they can just pull over and stop in the building, grab some eggs. But that's not why I'm making this video. I just wanted to update you on egg production and tomato production because I showed you the crazy garden and how well it's doing. Today we're going to be feeding the worms, and I will show you that, as well as updating you on what the chipper shredder was able to do for us. I shredded a super sack worth of stuff. Remember, that's one of those giant white bags, so I will show you what that looks like. So that bag is a bag of shredded paper. Let's get some lights going. So, what it looks like. So some of this is from customers, some of it's our own stuff, but basically it shredded it down to this. So not quite as good as your traditional paper shredders. A lot of colored paper in there. The cardboard is down below. But it still did a pretty good job. So some issues that I saw with it, put on buckets. The issue that I saw with it was size of the stuff. So those were pretty big chunks, which isn't a big deal. The worms will get to it. And it jammed a lot with cardboard and paper. So it caused some issues when we were shredding everything, because it's not designed for that. It's designed for wood. So we may keep doing it with cardboard. I don't think I'll be doing it with the smaller things like paper, because it had a lot of trouble with some of that stuff. And there was a lot of stopping and starting and cleaning it out and whatnot. So I don't think I'm gonna use it for paper, but for cardboard, it was pretty awesome. It would pull everything in there, but it has to be that remember, it's 8 inches by 8 inches, and I'll show you that in a second. So the cardboard has to fit in those dimensions, and if it doesn't, it's not going to pull it in. And so I needed to have like a little pusher to get everything in there, because you know these boxes aren't the size of a tree, and so you can't just grab the end of it and shove it in there. You have to, you know, it might be a 12-inch box. Well, at that point you need to have some sort of pusher, and so I had to have like a really stiff cardboard tube or something that I could push the things in, and every so often it would grab it and pull it in there, and then I'd have to get a new one. And that's okay, because I didn't want my hands going in there getting close to the thing. So that's my opinion on that. It does really good with the wood. Like I showed you the big pile of stuff. We shredded all the wood. I'll show you that in a second as well. We shredded all the wood that we had in that pile, and it did a great job. It made like a little tiny pile of it. So it works really well for that. Is the infeed chute. And you can see the roller in there. That's what grabs the item being shredded. And so you put a box in there. The problem is you have to reach all the way in there. And while it fits and it'll grab it, that's crazy dangerous. Or if you try to put something like a pizza box, it'll get stuck. And so you're gonna need to kind of manipulate it in there to make sure that it actually fits into the thing. So even though it's 8 inches, not everything that's cardboard or paper will fit in there very easily. I needed to use a pusher of some sort, so like hard cardboard tube or something like that, to kind of shove things down there, versus if you had a branch, it would just go right in, because it's long enough and skinny enough that you can be far away from it while shoving it in there. So it can be dangerous to use for cardboard and paper, especially because, you know, small bits of paper and whatnot, but it still worked really well for doing it. So last weekend I finished all, that's new, that's from the last storm we had, but this giant pile is now gone and it is replaced with this tiny little pile. So this is awesome stuff. Probably let it break down a little bit and then give it to the worms. But those are some awesome chips. Really excited about how well that the chipper worked. Oh, there are the worms. They're chilling, they're waiting for a feeding, because they're definitely due. It looks like they've gotten through everything that I've given them, except for, you know, the parts of plants or the eggshells, but everything else is pretty much gone. So we'll get them fed, and then I'm going to cover them with some of that shredded cardboard, see how that does, and we'll go from there. Oh, noodles. All right, Next, after we spread the goop, we push it around a little bit here. Make sure we get it to every corner of the bin. Make sure everybody gets some in case maybe they're in another part of town and they want to drive over to this part of town to get the grapes, but they're over by the coffee grounds. Maybe somebody's in the mood for tortillas. Who knows? This way, we spread the love a little bit. Some oranges. Good eats. Alright, we'll spread it out a little bit. Make sure it's buried nice and good. Grab some more. This out. This does a couple things. One, it allows the worms to do their thing undercover. Two, it acts as insulation. In the wintertime, it'll keep them warm. In the summertime, it'll keep them cool. So they have this nice little barrier between them and the rest of the world. Same bin, other side. You can see that they've pretty much, aside from the plant stems and the eggshells, there's really not a whole heck of a lot left. There might be coffee filters, but yeah, they're ready for a feeding. Cool, 31 pounds. So far we've done 94 pounds. Ooh, carrots and bananas. Bananas and kiwi. Delicious. Oof. Oh yeah, that's liquidy. What's that, mango? Oh, they're eating good this week. Oh, it's leaking. So, the stuff that leaks out of your bin, if stuff leaks out of your bin, it is not worm tea, it is not worm wee, it is leachate. Leachate is runoff. Do not use it in your garden without taking precautions. Don't use it as like a plant substitute or a nutrient substitute or anything like that, because you don't know what the dilution is, how concentrated it is, how dangerous it can be. It can burn all your plants. It can be fine, you know, it could be good stuff, but you just don't know. So we usually discard it or reuse it as a top dressing. If a bin looks dry, we'll add some of it back into the bins. Other than that, you do not want to use it. I don't care what the internets tell you, it's not good stuff. Alright. Oh, we got some corn. Ooh. Corn, beans, a lemon. It's probably gonna be good enough for this one. So we're at what did I say, 98 pounds? I would say that's pretty good. Oh, we got some hot dog buns. Spread it around a little bit here. It's funny, I can identify the stuff now while it's still fresh. In a couple of days, you won't be able to tell what any of this is. It'll just be brown mush or finished castings. Well, except the corn. The corn cobs will probably last we'll have those for a few months. but everything else is going to turn to mush very soon. So we'll get a layer of cardboard, and then we're going to do the same thing on the other 4 CFTs. I'm not going to bore you with that. So we'll get them going, and then I'll show you what that's going to look like once it's all done. Onion, whole onion in that corner. This is in the second bin in. So we'll see what that looks like in a week. So bin 3, look at these guys. They are starving. There doesn't seem to be very much of anything left in here. There's... What? Okay. I don't know what that is, but I found $1 in the shredding on top of... Weird. Well, now I want to see if there's more. Okay, so anyway, there's really not a whole lot left in this bin. So, let's get them fed. See that? 499 pounds. 499. So close to 500. Well, that's all we picked up this week, so that's all we can give them. So hopefully they're not too hungry. I think they can, they'll be okay with the food scraps, the cardboard, all the shredding. So that'll be it for today. I will see you all in a week. Hope you enjoyed. If this is your first time, we'd love to have you stick around. Click the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video. Leave a comment if you have questions or whatever about what you saw today. We love talking about this stuff, and we love helping others. That's something else that we're starting, is a consultation side of the business. So if you have a worm farm and you have questions about what's going on in there, let us know. We'll help you out as best we can to make sure that your worms are happy and healthy. All right, we'll see you all later. Hopefully this shows up on camera, but we have a full rainbow in the backyard. Neat. I'm gonna head out into the woods and find the gold.